Salle is not just a school, it is a home of students who are nurtured with the teachings of St. John Baptist de La Salle that creates a big impact in the life of many.
My experience here in La Salle is where you learn things even through stuff that doesn't really matter to most, but it would for you.
Our successes can be traced to the distinct Lasallian education that is received in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and in many places where learning is made available in this university.
As you begin your journey with us, be guided by our Lasallian guiding principles. University of St. La Salle offers you educational experiences that will challenge you to reach your full potential. As a Catholic university, we help you clarify and live out the Christian values. Our campus culture emphasizes unity in diversity and dialogue and respect for differences. We help you translate theory into practice. Lasallian education prepares you for your future place in the family, society, and workplace. At USLS, we prepare you to be career-ready for the 21st century global workplace. Our expected Lasallian graduate attributes empowers you to be socially responsible Christian. Think beyond your self-interest, become more aware of realities, and contribute in your own way to nation building and transformation of society. Take more responsibility for your own needs and your own growth. Experience what it means to be a catalyst for social transformation through your participation in community service. Effective communicator. Improve and gain confidence in using effective oral, written, and multimedia communications so you can express your thoughts and ideas. Use digital technology and communication tools to research, organize, and communicate ideas and information. Work productively or collaborate with others in teamwork and be more flexible in adapting to changing situations. Critical thinker. Become more open to innovative and creative ideas and ways of thinking. Sharpen your critical thinking by analyzing issues before forming your own opinion. Be more solution-oriented when challenged by problems, and translate or apply theories learned to practical situations and applications. Welcome to the University of St. La Salle, where better futures are created, now.
The Bachelor of Science in Nursing is a 4-year degree program designed to develop the competencies required of a beginning nurse practitioner. It will equip students with the knowledge, attitude, and skills needed to help individuals, families, groups, and communities cope with current and potential threats to health.
I chose Salle because Lasallian nurses provide holistic care through physical, mental, social, emotional, and spiritual aspects.
I chose Salle because Salle produces globally competent nurses. I chose Salle because it is one of the prestigious schools here in the Philippines and is giving a quality education to its students. I chose nursing because I believe that nursing is a calling to spark the change and be the change.
I chose nursing to serve humanity through a noble job to touch the lives of every individual who needs compassion and care.
I chose nursing because I believe it is the best pre-med course since it offers us hospital exposure and allows us to interact and care for actual patients.
limits of one's capacity.
Touching lives with consistency, care, and compassion.
Remastered by DJ Panoy John.
I'll take you back to the old days, and I will sing the songs. Once you'll all remember, so come on and sing along. Come on, everybody! But the fruit of the poor lemon is impossible to eat. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet. But the fruit of the poor lemon is impossible to eat. Everybody! Green, green is green, they say, on the far side of the hill. I'm going away to where the grass is greener still. I remember this song, everybody. Woo! This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you are all doing good in your respective homes despite the threats of the upcoming typhoon.
We, the Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing 313 class of the Graduate School of University of St. LaSalle Bacolod, is holding this webinar in collaboration with the Center for Research and Engagement, Lumina Foundation, and the University of St. LaSalle College of Nursing.
I am Dexter P. Sandanya, a faculty of West Visayas State University College of Nursing and a student of the Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing at University of St. LaSalle Bacolod Graduate School.
And I am Mylene P. Habanya, also a faculty of West Visayas State University College of Nursing. Sir Dexter and I are classmates in the doctoral degree program, and we are your hosts for this webinar.
Welcome to today's webinar, Publish or Perish, the why, the what, and the how of academic publication.
Without further ado, Sir Dexter, let us begin this webinar with a prayer to be followed by the singing of the national anthem. Let us all put ourselves in the most holy presence of God.
让我成为我想改变的，以天主的力量和智慧带领我。
제게 성령을 내려주사 고난을 잊게 하시고 제가 구해온 변화들에 인해서 제가 좀 더 변할 수 있게 도와주시오.
Set me free from my fears and hesitations. Grant me courage and humility.
Wat alleen nog gedaan moet worden,
is om iedereen de kracht te geven om te worden wat hij wil.
నేను కాంతిని కాదు, కానీ నేను కోరుకున్న మార్పు కోసం ఈరోజు ప్రయత్నిస్తాను.
Aku bisa menjadi percikan cahaya dalam iman, pelayanan, maupun komuni.
Simulan natin ang mga pagbabago na gusto nating makita, mga pagbabago na nagsisimula sa atin.
Mayang magiliw, pero sa silangan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lumang hinirang, duyan na ng magiging, sa manlulupig, di ka masisi. Sa nagagat mundong sasimuyan, sa langit mo baka, manilagang tulad, awit sa panlayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdinigin. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw na luwal, aking pagsinta mo'y langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya lamang may mga api. Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
To continue, Ma'am Mylene, why publish or perish?
Well, it is through publication that researches with all its scientific and practical contributions are disseminated to others in a particular area of interest.
And yes, according to the Research Synergy Institute, being able to publish shows that you are actually the best and you know what you are doing and you have the potential of advancing your field. And isn't that exciting?
I agree. So let's not make our participants wait further. May we call on Professor Renato de la Canilao, our class representative to the student body, to welcome our eager researchers and publishers or soon-to-be publishers.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope everybody is doing good. By the way, I'm Mr. Renato Lacanilao, the student representative of PhD in nursing here in University of St. LaSalle. And in behalf of University of St. LaSalle, Bacolod, I would like to extend my warm greetings to Dr. Barijan Belen, the Dean of Graduate of University of St. LaSalle, to our distinguished guest, Dr. Gregory Ching, Associate Professor of Fujian Catholic University, Honorable Merly Salvani, to other administrators of this school, to Dr. Tony Anlachica, Academic Coordinator for Graduate Program in Nursing, to Dr. Shaila Trajera, our professor in DPN 313, to all other guests and to all participants in this webinar, and welcome to all of you. Our class in the Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing, together with our energetic and hardworking professor, Dr. Shaila Trajera, have come up with this webinar entitled Publish or Perish, the Why, the What, and How of Academic Publication. I know that everyone who attended today are excited to find out all about these things. But first, let me have a roll call by introducing and acknowledging the participants. We are actually about 230 in attendance who are registered in this webinar, and we are going international because we have some participants as of the Philippines. Let me start by welcoming the participants from the various places. We have Dr. Gregory Ching from Fujian Catholic University in Taiwan. Let's give a round of applause to our guest from Taiwan. Also from Soji Japranata Catholic University in Indonesia, of Language and Arts, Mr. Henny Hartono. And we have also from Oman College of Health Sciences, Miss Mary Grace Demihilio. And of course, we have from the Professional Regulation Commission, Bani, member of the Board of Nursing. We have also different schools and colleges, both in public and private schools. So let's start with from Iloilo City. We have participants from the College of Nursing at West Visayas State University. Actually, we have 38 delegates from that institution. And also we have Aklan State University, School of Arts and Sciences. And also I would like to acknowledge also the Aklan alumni. And we have also from Liso Integrated School, also in Aklan. Philippine Science High School, Western Visayas Campus. And we have also from Don Honorio Ventura State University, Porac Campus in Pampanga. And also from Negros Oriental State University in Ginulngan. We have also participants in that place. And from here in Negros Occidental, from the south, we have participants from Fellowship Baptist College. Welcome. From the north, we have also the Northern Negros State College of Science and Technology, or the NUNESCOS, from the College of Nursing and Allied Health Sciences. Welcome from those faculty of NUNESCOS. And also we have from Sagay National High School. We have also from DepEd Cadiz City. Also those from Project Pre-Cadiz. They are joining us with this webinar. From Dr. Vicente F. Gustilo Memorial National High School. Welcome. From Enrique B. Magalona National High School. Also from DepEd Julio Ledesma National High School. From DepEd at Ramon Magsaysay. We have also some participants from Feliciano Yusay Consing National High School. Welcome. From Negros Occidental National Science High School, they are also here with us. From Colegio de Santa Ana de Victorias from Victoria City, you are all welcome here in this seminar. From Central Philippines State University, College of Teachers Education. Also from John B. Lacson College Foundation, Bacolod. They are also here with us. And of course, from my school, Colegio San Agustin, Bacolod, the College of Health and Allied Profession, some of our faculty and students are also joining with us. And of course, from the school who are hosting this webinar, we have the University of St. LaSalle, Bacolod. We have participants from graduate school, the PhD in nursing. Also, we have from master's degree in psychology and education. We have also the College of Nursing Faculty of St. LaSalle, as well as the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Engineering and Technology and IT, College of Education, Languages Department. We have also the Guidance and Evaluation Center and also the IMI. And of course, from the Office of the Center for Linkages and International Affairs, or the CLEA. So here are the participants for today's webinar via Zoom. Let us enjoy today's activity, and once again, good morning to everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, Professor Lacanilao, for making us feel welcomed, and welcome to all our participants locally and abroad.
At this juncture, may we request Dr. Sheila M. Trajera, our DPN 313 course convener, the research coordinator of University of St. LaSalle Bacolod College of Nursing, and the director of Center for Linkages and International Affairs of the same university. Let's give her a round of virtual applause, please.
Thank you, Maylene. What started as a class activity now becomes a shared international research event in publication entitled Publish or Perish. With a trifocal function of education, namely teaching and learning, research and extension, research with its evidence-based practice integration to teaching and extension is becoming more vital as published. Philippine PR Bond member Honorable Merly Salvani, Dr. Greg Ching of Furan Catholic University, Dr. Henny Sartono of the C.G. Pranata Catholic University, Mr. Jarek Aloro of our BNTA class mayor, Dr. Janice Bolen, our graduate programs research coordinator, Dr. Tony Anlachica, our graduate program nursing academic coordinator, and participants, good morning. On behalf of our brother president, Joaquin Severino S. Martinez Dimian, our Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Annabel C. Valor, our Assistant Vice Chancellor for Research and Engagement, Dr. Mayor G. Terwell, our Dean of the Graduate Programs, Dean Barry Belen, Dean Ivy Edemni of the College of Nursing, participants, I welcome you all to this day's research webinar. Thank you for joining us. And may I ask you to enjoy and be learned following this event. Good morning. Dexter?
Thank you, Dr. Trajera. We are certainly grateful for encouraging us to explore and learn new things, honing our qualitative research skills, and to prepare us for future challenges. Now, one of the pillars of our profession, a nursing leader and a former president of the Philippine Nurses Association, has graced us with her presence, and may we listen to her inspirational message. Let us all welcome, with a virtual round of applause, Honorable Merly L. Salvani, member of the Professional Regulatory Board of Nursing Professional Regulation Commission.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, everybody. What a nice day to join you in this very significant activity, academic activity. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this webinar. I believe it is a collaboration between the University of St. LaSalle and Fijian University of Taiwan, the Research Center of LaSalle, and the College of Nursing of USLS, and others. Okay, this is a good activity. So I really wanted to join personally with this event, but my former student and my colleague before really gave me a tall order this morning to give you an inspirational message. So here am I with this tall order, okay? So research, actually, my engagement with research started way back when I was a clinical instructor at the University of St. LaSalle. That was then, research was no longer just a mere concept, but the curriculum mandated that it should be a subject. So we were multi So I was given the challenge to teach research as a subject. And lo and behold, it was not only for a section or two, but from 10 to 20 sections, with me being young then, okay, and also very ambitious, part of
I think we have some technical difficulties on the side of Dr. Salvani.
Yes, we will just proceed with Dr. Salvani with portions of her message later. Thank you, Dr. Salvani.
I'm back.
Okay,
yes,
Dexter, I'm back.
Okay. Please proceed, Doc.
It's the Doc. Zoom, I think, yeah. It's the Zoom that's acting up. Yes, okay. So, okay, let me continue now. I said my journey, my engagement with research started with University of St. LaSalle. And of course, with that, I really learned a lot about research that I developed a passion to it. So what I am now today as a member of the Board of Nursing, I owe so much to my experience in research at the University of St. LaSalle because my dear students and dear students and my fellow nurses today, okay, research is no longer a burden to us, but it's somewhat an obligation for us to do, for us to really climb up our career path or ladder. Okay, so I really would like to challenge you with that and to share with you that when I applied for the PR Board of Nursing, one of the big requirements is for me to show my researches plus my publications. So I have researches, but I think my weak points was in terms of publication. So today, you embarking on this Publish or Perish webinar is really a big leap for you, coming from a small step maybe, for you to really advance your academic career in terms of publishing your research works. So to us nurses before, research was a taboo, but today the landscape have changed really a great change, because many of the institutions today and workplaces require their workers, their health workers, especially nurses, including nurses, to really embark on research activities. So we have no choice but really to embrace that. Otherwise, we will be left behind. Okay. So today, as part of our research endeavor, we are not only writing researches, doing it, conducting it, but we are also obliged to share it to others, to share the information, the evidences, the data coming from our research outputs. And of course, one of those venues to really publish, to really share is through our publication. So thus today, the phrase publish or perish becomes not only an obligation but a sort of pressure to many universities, especially big universities with a very rich culture in research, to really put on that to their academicians, to their students, and everybody else. Okay, so what is the importance of publish or perish? Now, for one, okay, publishing your researches will really sell you as a scholar. It will really bring attention to you as a scholar and for you to show your talent to your peers. And besides, it will also focus attention to the institution where you belong. And with this, okay, it maybe will capture enough or many fundings to really promote your growth in terms of your research endeavors. And besides, another is many big universities today, one of the requirements for you to be employed as professors or teachers is not to look into your teaching competency, but to look into your publications. So it becomes now a byword to employing in big universities for you to be publishing or to have a list of your publications. And another also is that, okay, aside from that, it will also be a feather in your cap, to show that you are really publishing your researches in peer-reviewed publications. So today, the universities really put it as an immense pressure to all, to everybody in the institution. So shall I say to the organizers, especially to Doc Sheila, congratulations that despite the pandemic, you continue to be steadfast, to really enhance the knowledge and hone the skills of your students and everyone else in the institution, especially in terms of publication. So shall I say, publish or perish is the mantra today in anywhere you go, especially in big universities. Okay, so at the place where I'm working now, Professional Regulation Commission, when in fact recently the PRC embarked on a very major strategic planning to enhance its research culture, and from there it also challenges us not only to have research outputs but also to publish our research outputs, to disseminate information in order to add on, especially in terms of nursing, to really expand that knowledge available in nursing today. So again, congratulations to all of you. Good luck. And this might be a small step into your bigger leap of really climbing up your career path. Okay. To the speaker, my high regard and congratulations. And to everyone else, God bless us all and good day to everyone. And again, thank you for really making me a part of this activity. Thank you again and God bless us all.
Congratulations, Honorable Salvani, for making it as a member of the Professional Regulatory Board of Nursing and Professional Regulation Commission. And thank you for your inspirational message. May all our participants be inspired by the message of Honorable Salvani to further their research and continue on to publish. May I request this at this juncture, my partner?
At this point, may we request our overall webinar coordinator, Sir Vincent Solidum, to read the certificate of appreciation.
Thank you, Ma'am Eileen, for that inspirational, also to our inspirational message given to us by Dr. Salvani. Okay, Dr. Salvani, the certificate reads, University of St. LaSalle Bacolod Graduate School, Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing, 313A class, second semester 2021, Bacolod City, in collaboration with Center for Research and Engagement and University of St. LaSalle Bacolod College of Nursing, awards this certificate of appreciation to Honorable Merly L. Salvani, PhD, in grateful acknowledgement of her invaluable time and service rendered as inspirational speaker during the webinar. Publish or perish, the why, the what, and the how of academic publication via Zoom virtual platform this 20th day of February 2021 at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Signed, Vincent Z. Solidum, MANRN, Seminar Coordinator, Sheila M. Trajera, PhD, LPTRN, Professor of DPN 313A, Director, Center for Linkages and International Affairs, Tony Ann B. La Chica, PhD, MAN, Academic Coordinator, Nursing Program, Graduate School and Continuing Studies, Barry John O. Bilen, PhD, Dean, Graduate School and Continuing Education. Thank you, Dr. Salvani.
Thank you.
Thank you also. Thank you so much.
To proceed, Sir Dexter.
Thank you so much, Dr. Salvani. And once again, congratulations. Now, are you all ready to meet our speaker for today? Are you all excited to meet our speaker for today?
Yes, I am. I am speechless, as you can see and as you can hear. I've been looking at the chat, the group chat or the Zoom webinar chat, and there are lots of our participants that have indicated their excitement with regards to our webinar. So
I guess they're all
what about
excited
you?
to publish already at this
Yes.
juncture,
What
early
about you,
on.
Sir Dexter?
I'm very much excited to publish my research work and given the inspirational message of the Honorable Salvani, and much more with our upcoming speaker.
Okay, so I think let us not dilly-dally further. We'll proceed with aside from being excited, I am also at a loss. Where are we
I
at
think
this
it's now
juncture?
time to introduce our distinguished speaker.
Yes.
So
Okay, go
before we
ahead.
meet our distinguished speaker, we are all excited to hear from our hardworking, from one of the hardworking person responsible for our webinar today, to give us a warm welcome at the same time to introduce our speaker. Let us give a virtual round of applause to our nursing representative and the chair of from the University of St. LaSalle Bacolod College of Nursing. We have coordinator Anime G. Quezon. Ma'am, take it away.
Thank you. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. By B. Herbert. Publish or perish, the why, the what, the how of academic publication. Good morning, my dear participants. I am so excited to be here and to have the opportunity to introduce our guest speaker. A graduate of Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Mapua Institute of Technology. His Master of Arts in Educational Administration at Chiang Kai-shek College, Manila, Philippines. And a Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Administration, National Ching University, Taiwan. Currently, he works at the Graduate School of Educational Leadership and Development, Fujian Catholic University. Does research in educational leadership, educational management, and educational policy. His current project is analyzing the factors that promote international students' loyalty and positive pull or word of mouth, and religiosity and its effect on individual and organization. He is the primary investigator for the Ministry of Science and Technology, or MOST, and his project includes the nature and application of higher education academic identity, a perspective from doctoral students in Taiwan. Past Ministry of Science and Technology projects includes 4 projects as a primary investigator and 6 projects as co-investigator. He received the College Students Research Creativity Award as the advisor for 2 projects. With Research and Contributor ID or ORCID ID and Web of Science Research ID. His numerous achievements includes 54 journal publications in Scopus, INSPEC, and ESCI, 24 proceedings, and conducted 95 conferences across the globe. To name a few, Macau, China, Kunming, China, Shanghai, China, San Diego, California, USA, Chicago, Illinois, USA, Denver, Colorado, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, USA, New Orleans, Louisiana, USA, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, Las Vegas, Nevada, Honolulu, Hawaii, Valencia, Spain, Taipei, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, Phuket, Thailand, Kaohsiung, Taiwan, Osaka, Japan, Tokyo, Japan, Manila, and Cebu, Philippines, Seoul, Korea, Kobe, Japan, Vancouver, Canada, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Indonesia, both in actual and online. Aside from that, Dr. Ching is also a prestigious co-author of 2 books. One is The Internationalization of East Asian Higher Education. Second is the Taiwan Education at the Crossroads, When Globalization Meets Localization. He have 5 book chapters, and mind you, he is fluent in 3 languages, Chinese, English, and Tagalog. On a final note, he is also a fascinating individual, and we are so grateful for his presence among us today. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Gregory Ching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. So, of course, I want to thank Dr. Sheila first for inviting me, and then, of course, St. LaSalle, and then the honorable guests and administrators, students of Dr. Sheila's class, the PhD students, I welcome. Okay, so good morning. So I hope everybody's excited. I heard. Okay, so without further ado, let me share my screen first. So is my sound okay? It's okay. The sound is okay.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. So let me share my screen first. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So actually, the other day I was reading through the questions. Like somebody asked me why the title Publish or Perish. Later on, I'll talk about that also. The topic Publish or Perish. So let's go in. So first, I'll be trying to say something about the introduction, and then we'll go into the what is academic publication itself, and then what actually happened to academia. Why is this becoming like a publish or perish? And then a very what do you call that controversial issue, the topic of predatory journals, and then the new trend of open access journal, or what we call OA journals, and then we will go on to, I include some information actually on how to choose the Scopus journal after our talk last night. So I try to understand that there's students, you need to publish in Scopus index journal. So I try to look into some of that. And then, of course, how to make your publication visible. As a while ago, the Dr. Salvani was mentioning, like, to make yourself known is very important. And then preparing your research paper itself, And then what do reviewers look for? I think this is quite important. And then some writing tips, and then conclusion, then Q&A. Okay, so let's go. So first, if you see this picture, I every time I look at this picture, I'm so, I would just smile. You see that these are the reviewers, the people like, so publishing is a very tedious task. I mean, a lot of people get disappointed first. If I tell you, I was sharing, I think last night, like my first paper was, it took like almost 2 years to get the paper published. So, and then back and forth, sometimes even the reviewers' comments are longer than your paper. So those are like very hard, tier one. It's like Q1, first quarter, the top journals. So they would send your paper to around 3 to 4 reviewers. And then what comes back is more than what you've written, so crazy. So this should not actually be the case. So it's like, your experience would be like, I publish a paper and then along the way, these are the reviewer trying to, beat me up, something like that. But it should not be, okay? So why publish or perish? Before, maybe, let's see, around maybe 20, 30 years ago. So we just publish, we want to, to become scholar. A scholar, you need to publish your works. Like a while ago, Dr. Salvani was saying that if you value what you did, you want to share what you did. Like your PhD, you mean your dissertation, you put a lot of effort in doing your work. And then, of course, you must make your work known to others, share your work. So that's actually the main why we published before, to further the field of study, to further the scholarship, and in some cases as a basis for promotion. It's like even the teachers, when you're already teaching and you want to improve your rank, so you need to, like, let's say I'm a faculty professor, so how can I improve the content of my teaching? So it means that in the universities, teachers will try to do some research and add on to what they're teaching, like advance the field of study, something like that. Okay, so and then eventually this become publish or perish because of a lot of I think you heard of KPI, key performance indicators. A lot of universities right now are wanted to go into the ranking. Later on, I'll talk about that in rankings, university rankings. So that's why a lot of requirements right now are you need to publish just to maintain your job. For me in universities in Taiwan, depends upon the university, but for my university, every 3 years at least one. So every 3 years you need to accumulate some certain points, and then you get renewed your contract. If not, you get warning, something like that. Okay. So, and then this is not enough. You should not publish only in like normal journals. You should publish in high impact journals. High impact journals meaning that these journals should be indexed, as I heard that you mean Scopus, ISI, those top indicators. And then you need to look at the ranking of the journal itself, not only like, okay, this journal is in Scopus. Maybe the requirement is this journal should be like Q2, second quartile, or Q1. Okay, so you get higher impact journals, you publish that, you get more research grant, because this would sometime translate into like quality of your research. Okay, and then of course, lastly, if you want to become a prestigious, maybe a very well-known professor or something, you need to publish frequently in this high-impact journal, which is crazy. I mean, it's really difficult, to publish, a lot. Okay. So what is really academic publication? Academic publishing actually is here I mentioned is a subfield of publishing, but typically I categorize it's a scientific undertaking. It should be scientific. Why scientific? Okay. Okay, let's go in here. So what includes for academic publishing is like paper, of course, the journal, and then the book chapters, conference papers or proceedings, and then thesis and dissertation. All of these are academic publication. I categorize them as a scientific undertaking. I'll explain why. Okay. So because you need to pass a peer review. So some people would like, besides your dissertation, you have the panel. Okay, when you submit your paper, there's again sometimes we call them professional review, peer review, editorial review, a lot of names, but the same thing. People look into your work, they give comments to that your work to be improved. And then it should be properly referenced and a specific style format. For the nursing, what are you using? Like Chicago, or because I'm more familiar in social sciences, we use APA. How about in the nursing?
Using APA.
Yeah, APA din. Okay, that's good. So right now the APA is changing. It's like APA 7. So you should keep like up to date yourself. So doing the correct referencing is a very, what you call, the crazy thing, but there's a lot of software. Everybody familiar with EndNote? There's EndNote. There's like there are a lot like Zotero or something. There are different software that you can use to help you what we call that like catalog your references and then place it on your Word file, on your text file. So this is like, and then of course there's some contents are mandatory, like you need to put like a research paradigm, the method, the literature review, and then results and discussion. Depending on the type of paper that you're writing, there are some specific contents that are needed. So all of this could be considered like very scientific, especially this one, the APA is very scientific. Okay, so for publishing is like an action research. I think everybody's familiar with action research. You go into the action research cycle. So you begin, you have an idea first. Okay, if your idea doesn't work, so of course you perish, and then you begin again. You have an idea, the idea I think is okay, it's feasible, it's doable, and then you start to do the research. Okay, and then if you stop doing it again, you get to repeat. And then after doing the research, you need to write. After writing it, then you submit. And then it's a cycle, you go on and go forward. So it's really a very, as I've been talking about, it's a very tedious activity. Okay. So a lot of teachers actually, as I mentioned, can publish what they call these action researches. I mean, I've seen a lot of those teachers who work in DepEd. You can actually do right now. It's the COVID-19. You can do a lot of studies with with your students, even online. You can do a lot of. The questions a while ago. Somebody asked me what are good topics for research right now. A lot of topics, like if you Google Scholar, in Google Scholar, you just type COVID-19 and then online education, a lot of things will come up. So you can use this time of pandemic, actually collect data using Google Forms and then survey like that. You can student engagement, online engagement, or a lot of things. Maybe you can actually do a lot of pre and post-test studies. Maybe some students you use asynchronous online, and some students you use synchronous online. Different types of online teaching. You can do that. So a very good opportunity, and all of us, it's at home. Besides teaching, you can write. So actually, they're saying that last 2020, I've been receiving a lot of reviews. I've been reviewing papers for a lot of journals. Last year was a lot because in the US, people are staying at home. The teachers are at home. Everybody's writing. So that's why. So publication, as a means for recruitment, to get a job in the university, you need to get, you have publication. Like a while ago, I think, I repeat again, Dr. Salvani was saying that, to get to the nursing board, they look into your publication. And then to get promoted, you need to publish. To get tenured, you need to publish. So, but actually, a lot of controversial issue is, with this publisher Paris thing. Like a lot of the teachers are complaining, why we're teaching, why should we be published? So, but it is because of the changing essence of a university management right now. Later, I'll talk about that. So Sometimes the quality of publications of a professor may be judged by the quantity or by the quality, although it's not really clear, how can you say this professor is really good? How can you say this professor is really good? This professor has like 100 publications and this professor has like 10 publications. Would be the lesser publication professor lesser good? Not so, okay? It's hard to tell. Maybe you can tell upon the impact factor of the paper. Impact factor is the number of citations. How many people use the work? Okay, let's say Professor A has 100 papers, and then nobody uses those papers. Nobody cite. I mean, nobody reads the work. Nobody citation. Nobody cite those work. And then the other guy who's making 10, who has only 10 papers, but has a citation like 500 citations. So who is better? Quantity and quality is a very different thing. Okay. Oops. So right now, people are considering publication as a currency. Okay. I mean, like maybe to get a postdoctoral position, you need to publish. I mean, as I heard yesterday, you need to publish before you can graduate, before you can have a PhD diploma. Okay, before you can get awarded, you need to publish your dissertation. So it's very difficult. Okay. So when and where does this concept come from, publish or perish? The word publish or perish actually is not new. Since 1938, this was first mentioned in the association AAC. Okay, so I think they, and then in 1942, within the book, The Academic Man, a study in the sociology of a profession. So back then, that's like how many years ago? 60, 70 years ago. Okay, so they already mentioned to publish or perish, but as a way of what they call that, furthering the scholarship, not as a way what we're perceiving it right now. Before that, we need to publish just like to, I got this idea, like let's say I'm Einstein, I got the theory of relativity. I want to share this idea to a lot of people, so that's why I published. So in 1950, okay, Columbia University, they also mentioned that it's really meant for scholarship. But during the 1950s, also started the rise of citation indexing. Citation indexing is to keep track of the scholarly usage. Like, it's because like that. So how, as I mentioned a while ago, the two professors, like one professor has like 100 publications and the other one has 10. And then how can you know that this guy with the 10 publications has 500 citations, like 500 people or 500 papers mentioned this? So there, in 1950, somebody started, to catalog like who is referencing who. This is what we call citation indexing. So this started, and then ISI started. ISI came first. Thomson Reuters ISI. ISI is the Science Citation Index, Social Science Citation Index, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, and there's like emerging sources citation, a lot of it, because it's big money. Okay, a journal should be accredited before they could go into the ISI. The same with Scopus. You need to pay. The journals are paying for membership. Okay, it's not free. Okay, at first people are thinking first it's free, but later on you need to, because of this citations is keep getting very focused. Like a lot of people are equating like ISI equals quality, Scopus equals quality. So Scopus charges money now for the journals to get membership. Okay, Google Scholar is free. Google Scholar is also doing that. It's free. So, but Google Scholar, because they uses AI, artificial intelligence search engine, and then it's not that accurate. But generally, the coverage of Google Scholar is wider. So how do they count your, later on I can show you how do they count. Okay, let's continue. So these are the citation I mentioned. So if you need to use Google Scholar, I think everybody's familiar with Google Scholar, right? Not the traditional Google Scholar. Just type in these are my papers actually. This is cited by 56 times. So Google Scholar has the most coverage. It's like anybody, any work that cite that publication would get counted. Okay, unlike ISI and Scopus, they only count the citation within the ISI database itself. So let's say a journal who is not ISI cited this paper is not counted in the ISI database. The same with Scopus. Only the Scopus members journal within the Scopus database cite your paper will be counted in Scopus. So if the same paper, this one, the evaluation dynamics of blah, 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 my paper, the same paper, when you look into ISI and then you look into Scopus, different citation numbers, different count, this will change. But Google Scholar is the highest because Google Scholar is covering all. Okay. So the same thing. Let's say when you're looking for, let me go out. Let me open Google Scholar. So I'll show you. This one, Google Scholar. Somebody give me a topic. Let's say nursing, what? Nursing care. Let's say nursing care model, something like that. And then you see this this one 446, the highest. Okay, so when you started to look for references or the highly cited papers, the highest citation would be the most relevant with the topic that you mentioned here. Okay, so I think we're okay with that. Okay, let's continue. So this one. So the concept of published or perished was worsened with the university league tables, the rankings, as I mentioned. So this is like in 2003. They started to use the ISI as a criteria for like a university who has a lot of the university's professors or even the students. If the students and the professors publish within the ISI journals, they would get counted. So the higher the number of counts, the more, the higher the ranking you are. So QS ranking, Times Higher Education also, a lot of people are doing university ranking. Do you know a St. LaSalle QS ranking? Doc Sheila, do you know any idea?
We're still updating.
Okay. So it's like, but I think LaSalle Manila, I've been collaborating with LaSalle Manila a lot of times right now. So they're catching up on the QS. So they're pushing everybody to publish in Scopus.
Yeah, as also we are actually
the same thing, right? Even my university, but we're focusing on ISI. ISI is difficult. If it's Scopus, I'll be so happy. But in Taiwan, we focus on more ISI. Okay, anyway, let's go back. So this starting of the university, ranking system in 2003. So in 2004, it begins what we call the globalization of higher education. Everybody just suddenly wake up, huh? There is a ranking of university. Of course, number one is Harvard, Berkeley, those things, Stanford, Cambridge, those things. Okay. And then a lot, that was like 20, almost 15 years ago. And then 2008, the concept of policy copying. So Asian universities started to copy the policy in Western universities, like more of like marketization, commercialization. Okay. And then this came to rise the neoliberal management policy that we call right now. It's like schools are more focusing on the key performance indicator, versus the quality of the teachings. Like they would like look into like, okay, this professor, how can I tell this professor is good? Okay, he has a lot of publication, he has a lot of research grants, he brings a lot of money to the schools. Okay, those are key performance indicators right now because we need to survive. So, and then of course, because it's like this, if your university is ranked higher, it's like marketing. Students will get, oh, this university is ranked number 20. I want to go in there because I'm more prestigious. Okay, so it's like it goes around. The like university, like you get higher rankings, you get better students. It's like that. You can get more grants. But the problem is, how about the university that are ordinary university? When do they start? It's difficult. So we're talking about let's go into the predatory journals. I saw in the question, somebody asked me, how can you tell if the journal is fake? So when you submit, nothing happened. They will ask you to pay, and that's a scam. A lot of, this is my second time that I did this presentation. I think last year I did this presentation. Somebody asked me, the participant, I think from Manila something, he asked me like, he submitted a paper and then the journal asked him to pay like around $100 and then nothing happens. And then when he emailed, it's not being replied. I say, okay, maybe you won't get back your money, definitely, So because of this publisher pressure, so a lot of scammers come out right now. So they sometimes they hijack the original websites, they a lot of things, and then they prey on authors and scholars. How can you tell who is predatory or not? You need to, like, I put here, think, check, and then submit. Okay, so let's go back here. So this guy Jeffrey builds a list of predatory journal. I think if anybody heard of this, the predatory journal list, but actually this list, it's not online anymore. The list that we're seeing right now is not the original list. Jeffrey Bills take down the list because a lot of controversies that arises, like people are saying that Jeffrey Bills is asking for money. Okay, you want your journal name to be removed, you pay me. So a lot of very who can say, I don't know, controversial issue. But in the beginning, he targeted all open access journal. Open access journal means that, as I was saying, that authors are the one paying for the for papers. Okay, I'll talk more about that. Okay, so how can you tell that if this journal is predatory or not? This three: think, check, and then submit. You need to think first. If don't try just, okay, somebody emailed you I read your work and then I think you are a very good scholar, please submit to our journal, blah blah blah, like that, and then you submit immediately, but later on they will ask you for money. Those are typical scams. So think before you act, and then try to, maybe you go in, do not just click their link that they give you. Maybe you get the journal's name and then Google it. Try to Google Scholar it and see if they're really publishing papers or not. You need to check. You need to ask somebody, okay, is this journal okay or not? Okay, before you submit. So this thing, think, check, and submit first. Okay. So in the beginning, as I mentioned, okay, before open access journal, before there was open access journal, all the journals actually, when authors submit, is free. So the authors okay, so who pays for the the schools? Actually the one paying. Let me see, I put it, okay. Who pays for the do you know that the school library pays? I think how much do we spend in our school? Typically, one journal, the schools pays around $1,000 a year just for one journal. So when the schools pay for the publication, the publisher, so students within the schools can download the journals for free. Readers are free. If you publish, if the schools pay, but when you're at home, you cannot access the papers, right? You need to pay. How much for download one paper? Maybe around $30. Let's say, but later on, ResearchGate came up. So ResearchGate, it's a community. A lot of authors are there, and then they put their papers there for free, right? But be careful; those are the copyright items. So there are a lot of rules. In the start, a lot of actually authors are being like emailed by publishers. Okay, you should not put the paper in ResearchGate for others just to download. Remember, when you publish, you sign the copyright agreement, right? Remember that? The copyright means that your work, you give your work to the publisher actually. So the publisher has the right for your work. Okay, so those are the traditional ones, okay? So right now it came to rise the open access journal. Open access journals are the authors are paying, readers get free. So that's the other way around. So why would people do that? Because when your paper is free to download, you get higher exposure, you get more readers, you get more citation. So it's a different, what do you call that? A different kind of business model. Before, the publishers are earning money from universities. Okay, right now the publishers are earning money from authors. Okay, so can you say that who are the open publication? Actually, as I mentioned here, okay, traditionally authors are free to publish, right? Who pays for the expenses? Was the readers. So it's $30 per article. Some university actually pay to $2 million per year. Okay, like in Taiwan, we have our national Taiwan University, the biggest and the most prestigious. They pay around something like that, $1 million because they have a lot of the students can download the papers for free. So it's right now the open access publication is becoming a trend. So schools of course want to save money. So what happened is like, have you heard Nature is one of the top scientific journal? Nature is also open access. If you get a paper accepted, you need to pay $12,000 to publish. The authors are paying. Crazy, right? So even Springer, Elsevier, Taylor Francis, Sage has open access right now. Typical charge that they charge $3,000 per paper. Very normal. That's how much is $3,000? That's 150,000 pesos per paper. And this one, 12,000 in Nature, how much is that? Almost 500,000. Am I correct? $12,000 is like, tama ba? If my computation is right, $12,000 times 50 or 40 is expensive, really crazy, right? So, but since you're paying, the authors are paying, so you get faster review, faster publication process, around 45 days, because it's like a business. So it's faster than ordinary journals that are not open access. Okay. So how to look for authentic journals? Okay, the journal should have a DOI. The papers. Everybody familiar with DOI, right? The HTTP, like there's a number. It's like what we call that. Social security number, something like that, or SSS number, or unique number. Each paper has a unique DOI. This is how they keep track of your citations. Okay, if you look into a journal and then the articles don't have DOI, be careful. Maybe it's a fake. It's not that good journal. So basically, all journals right now have a DOI. When your paper got accepted, you need to have a DOI. Okay. So DOI keep track of who cites you. Okay, it's unique. So of course you need to create a Google Scholar account, ResearchGate, or Semantic Scholar accounts. Okay, so you put your papers there. So to get cited, of course. And then why visibility is important? Because people can read your work, so people can cite your work. And then citation count is very important, as I mentioned. Okay, impact factor. If your paper gets cited 10 times, we call that, I think, H1, and then you get accumulated. The higher the number of citations, it means the higher the quality of your work, because people use your work. Of course, you don't cite your own work as much, like people cite your work. Not that's called self-citation. Self-citation is it's understandable, but should not be all the time. Okay. So this is my Google Scholar account. Okay, so you see, okay, create one. This is my dog. Okay, he's fatter right now. This is a while ago. So okay, this is my ResearchGate account. So I encourage you to create your own. Even if you just have you can put when you attend conferences, you can put the conference. As long as you have a full paper, you can put the full paper in, so people can download your even conferences. You can put so people can cite your work. Like this one, my paper on evaluation of the dynamics of plan to develop first-class universities and top level research center in Taiwan. It has an H index of 10. So it means like more than 10 people cited this paper, I think. Okay. Excluding self-citation, you see that? They remove it. Okay. So, and then as yesterday, after the talk yesterday, people asking, so how can you check for Scopus papers? You can go into this website, SciMago. Okay, let's click this one. SciMago is a Scopus. It's actually, this is Scopus. This website is owned by Scopus. Okay, SciMago Journal and Country Rank. So I usually go into this one, Explore. And then this one, Open. So this is Scopus. You see here, Scopus, and then kind of slow. Okay. So in Scopus, there are 25,000 journals right now here, 25,308 journals within Scopus. See a lot of dots. So, but you can select, select an area. Maybe let's type in, since we're nursing, yes, here. And then, so you see that it becomes smaller. Which is the top? Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry. Is it famous? I'm not that familiar. Okay. So these are all nursing related journals. And then you can see the SJR 0.76. This is the impact factor of the journal. The higher, the better. So these are all Scopus. So this one may be, so you can click Nutrition Today. So you can write about something about nutrition. Okay, come back. And then you could click, the link will go. Okay, let's try one. So it would jump to nutrients. Okay, so it would tell you, okay, nutrients, and then ISN is what. So, and then there should be a home page, and then you click this home page, and then you go, this is you, to be sure you're not getting into the fake journal. So this website definitely are the authentic website for the journals. Okay. Let's go back. So I checked some like this one, 56H in. This is very, very high. It means all the papers within that journals are being cited very high. This is crazier, 133. Appetite. Is this famous, the appetite journal? I don't know, in nursing. So maybe it talks about appetite. Okay, sense of the title. Okay, so and you were asking about, okay, what are there any faster Scopus journal that this MDPI I've been submitting to this publisher. I think we have around 4 or 5 papers already here. So you can go into click on this, but they cost around 50,000, I think, pesos per paper. The least. I saw some charges around 75,000 pesos per paper, but they're fast. Around 2 months, 1 to 2 months, they publish it. So you look, these are all Scopus. Okay, and then here the impact factor, and then these are all Scopus. So look at the topic. I think I found a few. Let's see here. This one, societies. I think this is quite wide. The scope is wide, so it talks about a lot of, as long as the topic is related to the society, maybe a group, you can look into a group of people, their nutrition or something. Okay, and then it charges around 50,000 pesos, I think, per paper. So, and then their turnaround time is around 45 days, very fast. Okay, so later on you could check the website is there, so you could go on and research, look into the journals, and then try to look into, there's a link, article article processing charge, APC, and the money is in Swiss franc, and then just convert it into US dollar or peso. Okay, here, okay, first you need to choose a journal, of course. Okay, you choose one, be sure there's a review process, be sure there's a DOI, and then your scope, the theme of your topic fits the journal. Okay, if it doesn't fit, look for another journal. And then the pay is reasonable. But right now, currently around something like that. Even Sage Open charges around 800 to 1,200 US dollar. Sage Open is famous. Let's see. Sage Open is this one. Sage Open. Sage Open, all topics. Sage Open is like if you don't want to look for a journal, just click on Sage Open. They accept all topics because it's like Scopus, and then but they charge. You need to pay 800 to 1,200. I'm not sure about the price right now. Okay. Come back here. Okay. Okay. So days to publication, 90 to 120 days is very fast, but 45 days is crazy fast. Typically, if you submit to the traditional journal, what I mean by traditional journal are those journals that you don't need to pay. Maybe will took like 1 year, 2 years, depends upon the journal, depends upon the field that you're submitting. In social sciences, it would take around, my experience, 2 years. And then maybe it would be like around 6 months, 9 months, 12, 10 months like that. And then be sure to read and download some of the publications within the journals and use them as exemplars. What are exemplars? Examples. It's like pattern. You look into how do they framework, how do they subsection the papers. Okay, use them as patterns. Look at the papers that are very similar to what you're doing. Maybe similar topic or similar methodology. Maybe this guy uses a survey. Okay, this guy uses an interview. Okay, qualitative one. This one is a mixed method study. This one is like a factor analysis. This one is a multi-group something. Okay. How to choose journal? A scientific way of choosing journal is look at your reference list. After writing your paper or your dissertation, look at your reference list. Choose the journal with the most number of papers that you cite. So let's say when you look into your list and you see, why am I citing always the nutrients, this journal nutrients? So it would be, be normal that your paper can be submitted to the journal nutrients, because as I'm mentioning, this is communication. It's like I want to talk to the people who are submitting to this journal. It's like your scholarship communication, what I mean. Okay. So you need to format your paper to the specification of the journals. So the style, the formatting should be the same as the one that you're submitting to. So it's very normal that, let's say, I'm the editor of the journal A, and then you submit to me a very different formatted paper. It's like, this is not what we're used to be seeing. So it will ask you to revise again and change format, blah, blah, blah. So before submitting, be sure that your paper is formatted to the same as the journal. So when the editor sees it, looks familiar, looks very pleasing, okay? So styles I mentioned, different ABA, Harvard, IEEE, blah, blah, blah. And then so do not mix. You choose one, 6 or 7. But typically people use a 7 right now. It's easier. So also be sure of the parts. It should be an introduction, literature review, methods, blah, 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 those things. How do you subsection? Make you use one Roman numbers or use the numerals like that, or ABC. Depends upon the journals. Be sure to look into the instruction for authors. Formatting the tables, how quotations are being quoted, those things. So, and then the papers are blind review. Blind review meaning the reviewer don't know who you are, and then you don't know who reviews your work. So you should be careful of you should remove all all hints of who is writing this paper. It's like, let's say if I cite my own work, I would just put it author A first, okay, to just remove my name. It's like something like that. You can see that in the website of the journals that you're submitting. They would put the instruction there, okay? So continue. So Proper citation reflects the professionalism of the author itself. So as I'm reviewing a lot of papers, so most of the time I see a lot of crazy citations. So it's non-consistent. So this, if you're, how can you tell that if the author is very professional? Just look at the reference list. If it's properly organized, and most of the time the authors would get, the reviewers are happy. So your papers would get easily accepted, okay? So then your argument should be logical, sound, and interesting, okay? So not out of this world, okay? So very logical, makes sense. You can say, hey, sir, I think most of the topic have already been done, but there are a lot of exclusion. Let's say localized, like this let's say you can do a case study, the case of your own school itself, because since your school is different from other schools, your findings would be limited. So they can put in the limitation, okay? Everything you can, it doesn't mean that somebody else has done this work, you cannot repeat it. You can also do, but of course, your findings should be like you should have more additional findings. You do not repeat almost 100% the same. So, okay, you get what I mean? I think you get my point. Okay, so, and then the methodology should be clear. Like, how did you do your work? How did you select your participant? What is the sampling method that you use? How do you reach the validity or reliability of the survey? Okay, or if you interview, what are the data analysis that you use? Did you use constant comparison? Did you use Miles and Huberman? Okay, or did you use triangulation? So you need, all those things should be there and are cited. You need to put those theory within the data analysis methodology. The research process should be clear. Okay, since publication is a scientific work, so when after people reading your work, they can tell how you did your work. They can repeat it. Okay. So, and then literature review. Literature review should be relevant. Okay, let's say, if the literature review is in Google Scholar, you type it, and then you found out there's a lot of literature review. Go into the highly cited one first, and then put in the relevant, the newer ones. So you need to remember to use the, okay, for example, put it like this. You're trying to make a study for multiple intelligences, and then you did not cite Gardner. What would happen? The Howard Gardner is the idea of multiple intelligence came from Howard Gardner. I think the book was Frames of Mind, and you don't cite that book. It's crazy, right? So remember, be sure to cite the most relevant literature, and then if there's too much other literature, the timeliness, maybe you should come up like year 2000 and above. You should put it in the limitation. Maybe you could write it in the literature reviews, the researcher, since the volume of number of studies done within this topic, the researcher limits the literature review from year 2000 and above. You can do that, okay? And then after doing the literature review, you need to put a synthesis, like in sum, okay? I read this, okay, so what is the relationship of the literature review to what you're doing right now, okay? And then make a synthesis of it. You need to connect the two. If you don't connect the two, it's the reviewer will say, so why did you put this literature here? It's not related with your work, okay? So findings should be relevant, okay? It should be relevant to the research question or your hypothesis. Okay, I wanted to do A, but your result is B. So should be aligned, okay? Discussion should also be relevant. Should connect with the, come back to the research objective of the study or the research question, as I've been saying, okay? Significance of the finding, you need to put this. It's very important, okay? So why do you think your work is very important? What's the significance? Maybe what are the implications? If you're basically most education-related work, they will ask you, what are the implications for the teachers? What are the implications for the students? What can the parents learn from this? So you need to put a lot of, like significant of your work, and then recommendations, and then of course limitations. Okay, if you want to write, you could. I think this book, Striking by Elements of Style. This is a very old book. a lot of writing style for the writing style. So I think I think there's a PDF format in the internet. You can Google it. You can download it. So it suggested to write in an active voice. Basically, we write in a passive voice. I don't know, me too. So, but as much as possible, I will try to, to the introduction is very important. Okay, so avoid using I, avoid using we, me, like that. You maybe put the researcher, the team, something like that. So do not focus on the, yourself. Third person. At least 3 sentences within a paragraph. Sometimes I see like 2 sentences and that's a paragraph. No, it's not. It should be like more than 3. Okay. Use first-hand citation as much as possible. For everybody familiar with first-hand citation, it's like be sure to read the original work and then you cite this. Do not cite. This paper cite this idea and then you cite that. Those are second-hand. First-hand means that you're the one who read the work and then you cite it. Use past tense in the research procedure because you did it. Okay. A good introduction is key. You need to set the argument within the introduction. It's like, how do you sell your work? Of course, abstract is the most important. Okay, because people read your abstract first before they download your paper, right? So abstract should be concise and clear. Later on, I'll show you. So, and then the introduction is very, because when the reviewer is reading, the introduction first is very, set the argument immediately. Don't beat around the bush too much. If your introduction is too long, and then just the first sentence, probably the reviewer will get the point of what you're doing, and then you just go on. Strong sources, I mentioned, relevant sources, relevant citations. Okay, I think my time is quite okay. The title should reflect what you're doing and what is interesting. Keywords are words that not found in your title. Why are keywords important? Keywords are searchable. So when people Google Scholar you, the keywords are being checked in the title. So if the title and keywords are the same, you lose an opportunity to get more, to let people cite your work, to search for your work. Okay, originality, of course. So what do reviewers reject? Okay, number 1, improper citation style, wrong citation information. The reviewers get angry. Inadequate primary source. What I mentioned is like the what they call the relevant references. You miss those relevant information. Okay, so no citations. This you just plagiarism. You copy and paste. That's crazy. Right now our school, we have turned it in. Okay, so it's easy to check for plagiarism. Okay, yeah, don't do that. 1 sentence or 2 sentences paragraph. Too many personal pronouns. Okay, these are taboo. Don't do this. Not enough evidence for the conclusion. Okay, you're saying something that you did not prove it. Okay, you jump too far away from what you found. Okay, so should not do that. Overselling your argument, illogical conclusion, those are the get rejected immediately. So what are the papers that get accepted easily? Okay, attractive looking papers. The use exemplars. When the reviewers are familiar with the style that you're working, even for the subheading, get accepted easily. Okay, something original, novel idea, something new. Topic of relevance. Let's say right now it's all COVID-19, online learning. Actually, a lot of people like focusing on the online fatigue. In the field, fatigue means you get tired easily. Like student, how can you tell your students are listening in Zoom? Maybe they would just like that, and then they're contemplating. They're not actually listening. How to make engagement within COVID online learning? These are very hot topics. A lot of people doing that. Use innovative methods. Maybe use big data, like fancy statistics. Well-written abstract, concise and clear. Meaning abstract right now is around maximum. I think it's around 250 words maximum. Okay, so should be clear and concise. Strong introduction, as I mentioned. Well written, of course, the grammar are correct. And then, if I always ask after I wrote, I would have my an English teacher, maybe just looking. Even though we're used to, because we're used to using English, but my English is like, I don't know, it's grammatically something. And okay, strong conclusion, fill the gaps within the literature. reviewers love this word, fills the gap. Okay, my study fills the gap within the topic of blah 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 blah. Okay, oh, that's good. Fill the gap is like you found somebody that did this before, and then you found it. Okay. So conclusion: choose your journal wisely. Okay, think about your objective, your purpose. Okay, so use exemplars. I'm mentioning again and again, and then strong title introduction. Argument should be interesting and novel. Method should be sound. Research process clear. Make sure findings are relevant. Contributions are significant. You can work as a team. Okay. Let's say this guy is good with writing a literature review. Okay, he does that. This guy is good with statistics. Okay, he would do the mathematics. Okay, work as a team. I don't know if it's allowed within the students, like the dissertation, they could work with teams and publish with. It's better. It's faster. Right now, I've been teaming up with in La Salle, Manila with some professors. I'm the one doing the statistics. They're the one writing the literature review. Somebody's writing the conclusion. Then and then somebody's writing introduction. There are four of us. So it works as a team faster. Okay. So in some academic publication, it actually is very tiring and frustrating. Okay. So patience is needed. Okay. Think of it as a conversation. I was keep on saying that the reviewers are your friend. Okay. Just don't think of them as an enemy. Just because they give you but of course some reviewers are I want to kick them. It's like I already mentioned those things in the paper. Maybe it's not clear, so they will say, okay, why did you not do this, do this, do this, do this? So maybe just make it clear. At first you feel bad. Every time when I get the comments back, I get a little feedback. So maybe set it aside first a few days, and then you go back, and then when you read again the comments, it'll be better. It's because the work that you did is you spend months and nights, how many days, how many hours writing your work, doing the research, and then somebody review your work and saying that it's not worth something. Okay, this you should do that, you did this wrong. And then you just put it aside and then don't feel bad. Okay, of course you feel bad a little bit, and then maybe later on after a day or two and go again and read the comments better. Think of it as a conversation. Your paper will come out better definitely after you revise. Okay, because it's like that. So Q&A. I hope I didn't talk too fast again. I usually talk too fast. So any questions?
Sir Dexter.
Thank you to our guest speaker, Dr. Ching, for
Yes.
a valuable presentation. The Q&A will have a separate portion.
Okay. So that's it. Thank you. So if I gave the PDF file to Dr. Sheila last night, but I didn't include the, let's say it's this one. This is new. This is this morning. I think this is this morning. So MDPI, you just Google. You want to you copy the link. MDPI. I'll put this in. Okay, I'll post this in the message.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, please, Doc.
Hi, Doc.
Oh, I'll just unshare the screen. Let's see how to do that. How to unshare the screen.
We will be sending the participants the PowerPoint of Dr. Ching. So please don't worry. You will still have the copy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So thank you to our speaker, Dr. Ching, for a valuable presentation on the importance of academic publication. Your shared knowledge today will be beneficial to all of us here and to the rest of the world.
And I believe our participants are now excited to publish and never perish.